Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to another Wild Rift guide. And today I'm gonna teach you guys how to play Lissandra. And just for your information, this is a difficult hero. She has some crazy combos to do, like there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about, and it's really not as straightforward as you would think. Like you can teleport all around and do some crazy combos and all of that, and today I'm gonna teach you all of it. But first I wanna talk about something else, guys. There's timestamps in the description if you want to skip this, but you guys remember 3 months ago I talked about the fitness and the diet coaching and all of that? Well, we got like 70 people, and we got some before and afters. You know, they stuck to the plan, a lot of them. And now, like I'm going to show you the very first post. We're starting to post before and afters. This is one of the most impressive ones in my opinion. This is this guy, and this guy was locked in from day one. This is how he started, and this is what he's at right now. You can see it over there. He's muscular. He has a six-pack. He went from this to a six-pack in 11 weeks. This is 11 weeks. And then, you know, if you're truly interested, on the Instagram, there's a video of him explaining how the program worked for him. There's more, and there's gonna be more as well. If you're interested, then I'll put this link in the pinned comment, which is going to bring you to a form for you to fill in. It's a very simple form. Just put in your information, put in your fitness goal and whatnot, and I will reach out to you to schedule a meeting to talk about this program and all of that. I want to say though, we're going to close applications again in 12 days, which is going to be the end of August. Because now we got some new spots open, because 3 months are over. It's like a 3-month program. And some people chose to leave, so we have some new spots available. So make sure you fill in the form quick to make sure you have your place in it. And I will reach out to you personally to explain the whole thing. So link in the comments, in the pinned comment, if you want to transform your life as well. So let's talk about Lissandra. This is an amazing champion. So first things first, the passive. This is all new, by the way. The passive is when an enemy champion dies near Lissandra, they become a frozen thrall that seeks out living enemies. Frozen thrall slows nearby enemies by 25% and shatter after 4 seconds. And they do 666 damage. Funny that I have exact amount of AP to do 666 damage. So here's an enemy. We're gonna make him a frozen thrall. So let's take a look at how it looks. Boom, there we go. He walks, and if there is like an enemy nearby, he'll walk toward them and then boom. So while he's walking towards them, that AoE thing slows the enemy, and then after 4 seconds he explodes, and it does quite a bit of damage. It's like almost as much damage as her first ability, which is the next ability that I'm going to be talking about. So Lissandra's first ability is Ice Shard. It's really as simple as it gets. By the way you want to max your abilities is first you want to max your first ability, then your second ability, and lastly your third ability. So the first ability, she throws a spear, as you can see, boom. It's really just a spear, but there is actually a bit more to it. So she throws a spear that shatters when it hits an enemy, it does damage, and it slows the enemy by 35%. The slow skills with level. And then enemies behind the target take the same damage and are also slowed. So look, if I throw it on him like this, just to sort of show you what happens, boom. Like the shard, it turns into multiple shards. So look, it goes from one icicle to boom, AoE. If you aim it a bit correctly here, you can see you can hit multiple enemies with it. I didn't put the dummies close enough to each other, but basically if you put the dummies a little bit closer to each other, you can hit multiple with them. So let me just do that for you guys. So here you can see, boom. You see how it's hitting multiple enemies right here? Also, for your information, you can only hit an enemy once. So like if you hit them with the spear and with like the shards that come out of it, it doesn't do double damage or anything like that. You're maximum gonna do damage once. Second ability. This one is actually quite simple. As it says, it creates an icy field. It roots the enemies within it for 1.55 seconds, and it does some damage. And the root also scales with levels. As you can see, boom, that's it. It's like Rhyme's second ability for all the Vainglory players. Some people will get this. So look, boom, that's it. You can walk while using this ability. That's the beauty of it. So like you walk and then boom. You know what I mean? Thing is though, talking about the combos, I'll talk about them later, but you can't flash combo this, but I'll talk about the combos later. Now it's going to be the most important ability in my opinion, the third ability. You can see you throw like a hand and it does damage, right? Like it does damage, but you can see you can activate it again. Boom. You teleport to the hand. So let's read through the ability. The first cast, it casts forth an Ice Claw that does a certain amount of magic damage, and when it hits an enemy in its path, it can be recast while the Ice Claw is moving. When you recast it, Lissandra teleports to the ice claw, which then disappears. So, just so you know, don't recast too early, because then it's not even going to go to the enemy. So think about it. This ability, right? You can get yourself in the middle of the enemy, and then I'll show you combos later. Or you can bait the enemy and sort of, you know, run away. And this third ability, it stays in its spot for like 1 more second, all the way at the end. And also, it doesn't matter how far you run away, you're still going to be able to make it back to the third ability. Now about the ultimate, one of the most interesting abilities in the game in my opinion. You can either put this on yourself or on the enemy. So let's read through the ability, what it does first. You summon Dark Eyes on an enemy champion or herself. And the Dark Eyes emanates, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but it emanates from the target for 3 seconds. And it does a certain amount of magic damage, and it slows enemies it touches by 60%. So if you cast it on an enemy, it encases an enemy in the ice and it stuns them for 1.5 seconds. Boom. You see how that one particular enemy, this one that I'm casting it on, gets stunned? So the enemy you cast it on top of taking damage, on top of getting slowed, he also gets stunned. If you use it on yourself, you will encase yourself in ice. You're then not gonna stun an enemy anymore. Boom. As you can see, you will put yourself in stasis. So let's talk about this. There's actually more to it as well. You put yourself into stasis for 2.5 seconds, and you also recover health. And then this health recovery increases by 0 to up to 100% based on how much health you're missing, and you heal maximum amount when your health drops below 30%. So to sort of show you how incredibly important this ability is going to be, I'm going to take some damage here, and turrets actually do more damage now. Last shot. So just to sort of show you, let's get into them. So look, when I stasis myself, boom, look at the healing, look at the healing. And then you can get out, right? You can't flash combo this ability either. The moment you click it, you immediately encapsulate yourself within the ice. So regarding flash combos, you can't do it with your third ability, sorry, with your second ability and your ultimate. Now let's talk about combos. What can you do, right? You can flash and use the spear. Flash first ability. This obviously can be useful during some situations where you want to catch up to an enemy and flash spear. You can not flash third ability. Even though it may look like it, it does not actually work. So be careful with this. You can't do it. So let's talk about some combos. Early game combo, I'm going to put a dummy next to me. Let's say you're laning against a Yasuo or whatnot. He gets close to you, right? What do you do to outtrade him? So what you're going to do is you're going to use second ability, basic attack, first ability, basic attack. So he gets close to you, and when he gets to the edge, second ability, basic attack, first ability, basic attack, and he can't do anything. Any melee champion in this game, the moment they get close to you, second ability, basic attack, first ability, basic attack. That's what you do. That's all you do. Of course, like an easy combo too, basic attack, first ability, basic attack, it cancels your basic or resets your basic attack. So you can kind of do it very quickly. Same with your other abilities. Basic attack, basic attack, second ability, basic attack. Everything really. Like you can use basic attacks in between. The point I'm trying to make is early game you want to use your basic attacks in between abilities. Let's talk about a bit of an early game all-in. So let's say you want to all-in this guy. You can do it with your third ability. Use your third ability, go onto him. Second ability, basic attack, first ability, basic attack. To do it a bit more quickly, third ability. Just like that. So one more time. Third ability, again third ability, second ability, basic attack, first ability, basic attack. You can do it even quicker, like more burst. Sorry, less damage, but faster. So third ability, engage, second ability, first ability. It does less damage this way. I don't really recommend it, but it's like instant burst. If you feel like you can one-shot an enemy that way, that's gonna be better than doing the basic attacks. Now let's talk about like an actual all-in. Imagine you wanna engage on the enemy and you wanna just dive balls deep into them and all-in them. You're gonna use your third ability. You go in, second ability, ult, and first ability. There's actually a more advanced combo. Let me tell you the advanced combo as well. You wanna use your third ability, and then right after the first cast of your third ability, you throw a spear, which is your first ability, and then you do the same combo. So it looks like this. I know it went quick. Let me show you again. I messed it up because I didn't use second ability. So you gotta be hella quick with this. Just like that. This does max damage. Let me tell you about some other cool combos. Let's say you're playing against like Zed maybe. You're playing against any champion you sort of wanna dodge their skill shots and whatnot. You can actually, instead of using your third ability onto them, or you want to maintain like a distance from an enemy, you can use your third ability here, get close to the enemy, use your second ability, ult, and then teleport to your third ability. And also spare shot during your third ability. Let me show you. Oh my god, you gotta be so quick. Oh, you gotta be so quick. I'm not gonna do it with the spear shot. It's possible, but it's just too quick. So let's say you wanna juke the enemy. Second ability, first ability, you dive out, and then you can use your first ability afterwards. You can do your first ability before the third ability, but that requires like true practice. But like you can do some combos like that. Another thing you can do is if you just want to bully the enemy, you can throw your third ability backwards. Let me show it to you properly. If you really want to just bully the enemy from super far away, you use your third ability backwards, flash on the enemy, second ability ultimate, and go into your third ability. So you can even use your first ability and go out. To fully finish this combo, you can use Ignite as well. So let me show you again. Third ability, second ability, no. Third ability, flash, second ability, ultimate, first ability, Ignite, third ability again. That's the combo. So let me show you. No, I used it on myself. Make sure you don't ult yourself, by the way. Oh my god. I didn't ignite. Let me try it one more time. So like, it's best if you portrait lock on an enemy, just to make sure you don't ult yourself. There we go, that's the full combo, you see? This does like almost maximum damage. I'm saying almost because you're not using your third ability on that enemy. So the actual maximum damage is using your third ability on an enemy. But like, generally I would say, you're actually gonna use the backwards third ability. Just to sort of one-shot one. This allows you to like really dive deep and one-shot a really important enemy. Let's say this is their Draven with a 1k bounty. You're not gonna dive him like this, right? He's just gonna kill you. You're just gonna do it like this, where you can kind of do it like this, stun him, boom, 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 and then you go out. I was too late this time, however. Just, you know, you gotta be quick. So those are really the combos and tips and tricks that I have for Lissandra. Honestly, buy a stasis, because you can just self-stasis and spam stasis as well. You can be in stasis for like 5 seconds. This is like such a good thing to do in a later game teamfight. One more thing as well is if you have a composition that has a good engage, you want to be the initiator like this, right? And then also stasis. So then, you know, your Malphite will ult, your Yasuo will ult, your Wukong will go in, your Katarina goes in, you know what I mean? With a composition like that, Lissandra makes a lot of sense to pick either as a support or as a mid laner, so you can actually get away with engaging like this, putting yourself into stasis, and just allowing your team to follow up and kill everyone. Also, some tips for the early game. Utilize the minion wave to hit your first ability more efficiently, because you can hit minions like this and then the ice shards are gonna hit the enemy a little bit more easily. So you can just use this to hit an enemy a lot more easily while you're in your, you know, while you're playing in the laning phase. Also, guys, make sure you give this video a like if you're enjoying it. Really supports with the algorithm and all of that. Let me know in the comments what you think about Lissandra too while you're watching. I'm trying to think, did I forget to say anything about Lissandra? I didn't. I mean, there are some simple combos like that maybe I didn't really talk about, like immediately ulting an enemy using your first ability and whatnot. You can do all kinds of stuff and then following up with the third ability, but I told you guys the main combos and I told you the all-in combos. So let's now talk about how to build Lissandra. There are multiple ways you can build her. There are really multiple ways. Like you can build poking Lissandra, you can build all-in Lissandra, you can even build like maybe a sustain Lissandra, which is not what I would recommend. But like taking a look at the build, you always would want to go Boots of Mana first. And then here it gets interesting. You can either go Luden's Echo, which is like more of a pokey Lissandra with your first ability, or you go for like, you know, either an Awakened Soul Stealer, or my favorite, Infinity Orb first item and skipping the Luden's Echo altogether. So if you want to like one-shot enemies, if you really want to dive deep and nuke the enemy backline, your build is going to look like this. And then whatever item you need, you know, this one or whatever you need, something like that. This is like the nuking build. And then here with the nuke build, you're going to go for the Electrocute rune. Electrocute rune. And then here, Scorch is really good. You can go sudden impact for your threat ability, but that's maybe a bit too much because you may also use it to escape, which is why I would use Scorch, Cheap Shot, and Eyeball Collector. These are just way too good early game to bully the hell out of the enemy early game. If you go for more of a sustain or like a poking build, you know, as I said, you go Luden's Echo, and then Infinity Orb is going to be included in this build. This build is also good, but with this one, I recommend you guys to go for, where is it? The Arcane Comet, and then the rest is gonna be the same. You always go Ignite and Flash. You can go Exhaust, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's quite necessary. You can always put yourself in stasis with your ult. So Ignite just gives you the tad bit more damage. So honestly, guys, that's it. Like again, you know, if you're interested in the fitness and diet and health coaching, all that, if you want to transform your life, you want to go all in, fill in the form in the description. You have 12 days from now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.